going to take a break from the cars for a moment. I want to make sure I let you know, please hit that bell. Please give a subscribe. We're going to start doing some car content. And one of the builds, getting ready to shoot for a time to release the first video. I wanted to take this moment to kind of explain how I got it, why I have it, and I'm going to go ahead and be posting pictures so you kind of follow along. We've got a 48 Willys. This poor little Jeep was in beautiful shape when it first came to my shop. I traded a 78 Trans Am Firebird. At that moment, we were flipping some cars, and a client had come through, and he really liked that Jeep. And I just got it. Like, I'm talking, I literally had just rolled the Trans Am onto a trailer, just went and delivered it, brought it to the shop that evening. It was probably almost 10 o'clock. And I went ahead and stuck it in the shop and went home. I didn't even make it back to the shop. And this guy, who was a friend of my dad's, I want that Willys. So I talked around and did some numbers and kind of gave him a good price. Again, I just acquired it. I hadn't touched it. I ended up trading it for about $5,000. I was asking $45 for the Trans Am. He was asking $65 for the Jeep. I call it $5,000. I sold it for $5,500. Well, this Jeep was never picked up. So let's go back a little bit on the story of why did it get parked. All right. And again, this is the Jeep. It got parked because he never picked it up. The shop I was in, one weekend on a holiday, the neighbors next door decided to cut a hole into my loft and emptied all of my equipment. They could fit through the plasma cutters, MIG welders, you name it. If they could pack it, they took it. So, of course, I had to file with the insurance. I, of course, instantly told the landlord, I'm not staying at this location. And that's how little Jeep got parked at my parents' property in the field with a cover, awaiting pickup from the new owner. Paperwork still in my hand. Like that, not complete. So as it sits there, I kind of forget about it. And let's put it this way, after 2 years, I get a phone call from my father. What are you doing with this Jeep? At this time, I had 2 Cherokees on the property. I thought he was talking about the Cherokee. I said, oh, I know, I'm going to build it one day. No, son, the Willys. Oh yeah. It was tucked away under covers in a pole barn with the Porsche. I said, he never come and got it? My dad said, nope, and I still got the paperwork. So I contacted the gentleman who was a friend of my dad's. I was like, yo, are you ever going to come get this Jeep? Oh, yeah. 2 more years go by. I get a phone call from my dad. You want to give him the paperwork? Maybe he'll come get the Jeep. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Keep in mind, at this point, I didn't forget about it. I just let it sit. They've got 5 acres. I have multiple projects stored out there. So, after about it hit 5 years. I'm not saying this for any attention, but I did end up losing my father here around almost 3 years ago. And this was around that 5-year time. I now, after handling my father, getting things with my mother situated, I had to get this Jeep out of there. And at this point, there was no more projects there. I didn't even have a trailer there anymore. Maybe my 2 fishing boats are there. They were my dad's. So I finally get a hold of him. And he says, well, I'll come get it. About 6 months goes down. I handled 4 different calls to him. Still hadn't done. So I loaded it on my car trailer, and I drove to his house with paperwork in hand. This is where the story goes for a twist. You'd think I'd just be able to unload the Jeep and it's a done deal, right? This is how much that little Jeep loves me. Guess what come back home on the trailer? Yep. The little Willys that could. It's been begging to be revived. It's been begging to come to life out of that field. This little Jeep, let's give a little backstory to why it has potential. This Jeep was restored fully by an owner of a Dodge dealership. I'm not going to say names. I'm sure if he's on YouTube, he's going to recognize. I have all the receipts, all the paperwork. There was well over 50 grand put in this Jeep when it was restored. Motor rebuilt, everything's original. Original. There is 55,000 miles on the Jeep. 5,279 of that are after it was restored. It has sat. This is now going over 7 years. I'll call it 7 since ran. You'll see the video here soon. I am in process of reviving this little Jeep. Now back to the backstory. It has had so much work and is such a solid little rig. It deserves to be revived. And the reason it left and back on my trailer home was because I took it to the shop that I had recently just moved out of. It sat there for 1.5 years while I waited for parts to show up for it. Since moving out of my shop, I brought it home. Granted, the owner of the Jeep knows everywhere this has been, everything I've done, anywhere it goes. He paid for the new master cylinder and the fuel pump, which you'll see we have gotten the fuel pump in, and we are currently reviving. And there will be brakes. There's a lot of other stuff we're going to have to go through. So, with it being here, I decided, well, maybe I should start making some content with this Jeep, since this Jeep has literally followed me around like it's one of my own children. So, that's kind of why I wanted to get on here and kind of explain. This Jeep does have a special place in my heart. It's been tied in through my family for multiple years. There was a couple years before it even went to my dad's friend that my partner and I had enjoyed it before we actually got it. So I'm hoping that this kind of reaches out to everyone and lets everyone know the backstory, lets them know why, how I ended up with this Jeep, why I still have this Jeep, and why it has never been given the love it deserves. So, in the midst of this channel, we will be reviving the little Jeep that could. I appreciate all your time. Again, please smash that bell. Please give me a subscribe, follow. And like always, please appreciate the classics.